Okay, hey guys, it's Mr. Dubin here again, and I'm giving you a new lesson. This is your avatar lesson. You need to create a custom avatar that's going to represent you on your cat island and a pet for your avatar. So it's going to be a double character design. You have 2 weeks to complete this. I'm going to show you a different alternative method, which is to find an image that inspires you, that will be your avatar, and to simply trace that image and then render it using the techniques that we've learned already. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is find an image that inspires you, and then you're going to bring that image in. To do that, remember, you go up to the top toolbar and there's that little mountain with the plus sign icon right there. I'm shaking it back and forth so you should be able to see it's like two little mountains in a box with plus sign. If you click on that, you should be able to go get to your photos. You're going to want to find whatever image that you're going to use as your inspiration to trace in your photos. You're going to need to save that into your photos. And then I chose a cat. Remember, you go to the little mountain up there and you go to your photos and you find whatever you downloaded and saved to your photos. It's going to be your character sketch. In this case, I chose a cat. And when I do that, I can kind of scale up this cat to sort of fit the document a little bit better. Remember, you hold down your middle finger or forefinger and your thumb, and you kind of pinch together the shrink, and then you expand them to scale them up. Okay, so I can kind of go, I'm just kind of going back and forth. You go ahead and hit done, that done button at the very top of the toolbar. It's in sort of a blue color, kind of making it blink on and off. So you hit done. So the second half of this, I'm going to do the eyes. I'm going to show you a special eye technique. And I'm gonna go slow on the eyes so you can do really good eyes like that. And then after that, I'm gonna, as I start my character, to finish it, I'm gonna do what's called a time-lapse drawing, which speeds up everything that I'm doing into a sort of a fast motion film. So in order to finish this, because I'm limited and restricted to how much time I can use to upload to YouTube. Alright, so the second part of this lesson, we're going to do the eyes, and then we're going to trace the body, and then we're going to start rendering the different parts. And part of it, like I said, will be a sped up video. Now you're doing your avatar plus a pet, so 2 characters, so your character has a pet. Your pet can be anything: a bird, an animal, a robot, a fish, an alien, a monster, an insect. Whatever you want it to be, your character or your avatar can be anything you want it to be too. So my cat here could be my avatar, and he could have a pet human if I wanted it to. So anything goes as long as you keep it clean and appropriate. So find something that inspires you. You can copy something, I don't care. You can copy another character from another animation or cartoon. You can make up your own character. You can use your own picture and draw a little cartoon character of yourself. Anything goes to be your avatar. Anyways, I'm going to end this video, and then I'm going to start another one after this, just doing the eyes, and then we'll do a time lapse. Okay, so see you in a minute. Okay, hey guys, so second part of the lesson, we're going to learn how to do the eyeballs, or do nice eyeballs, by separating everything onto different layers. So I took the liberty here of making 2 new layers, and on those layers I put the black outlines, and I did the one white part of the eye. Now the white part of the eye is beneath the black outline, so when I paint it, make sure you're on the right layer, and make sure that you know that the little eyeballs, making them blink on and off, turn the layer on and allow you the little padlock below it, and making it blink on and off locks the pixels, so that locks the color, so you can't draw outside of where there is color. So you can't draw in a new area because it's locked it. You can only draw where there is color when you lock the pixels. Alright, so turn that back on. I'm going to quickly go to get white, and I'm going to draw in the other white part of the eye. Okay, I'm going to use the ink tool here. It looks like I'm on opacity. Alright, so the black outline is on top, so it's covering up those edges, so it can be a little sloppy. Mine's going to be a little rough because I don't have the time to do like a super amazing piece like you guys are going to have for this project. But there you can turn off the white part there's what I did. You can see it's sloppy on the edges because the black outline over here in the layers is on top. Okay, so everything goes beneath your black outline. I took the liberty of drawing them to save time. So when you have a layer selected and you go to the plus sign up at the top of the layers up there, the plus sign will put a layer above the layer you're working on. Okay, so at the bottom should be the white, at the top should be the black. And so I'm going to go from the bottom up. So the next layer here, I'm going to turn off the white. I'm going to lock its pixels with the padlock so I can't mess it up. That's why you lock the pixels. So on that layer, I'm going to go to my cat here, and I'm going to go get a color. I'm going to paint in green eyes. So I'm going to go get a very, very dark green, almost black. And I'm going to paint in that first ring of color that you see there on the cat eye. Okay, now that cat has different color eyes. That's okay. I can duplicate that just with my own colors just by kind of using it as a template to see how many rings of color. Okay, what did I do there? I messed up. I drew on my cat layer. Undo. Make sure when you are drawing that you are on the right layer. I'm going to lock the cat pixels now. That you're on the right layer that you want to use. You always have to keep your eyes on your layers. As newbies to this software, it is going to be very easy for you to lose focus and draw on the wrong layer. So it's like always draw on the right layer. And each time you draw on it, if you're done, I would just lock it down. So go to the next layer above that, make sure it's selected, and then I'm going to go get another green color, lighter shade. Okay, and I can turn off the one that I just did so I can kind of see where the next ring of color is on the cat eye that I'm copying. Okay, and then lock that one down, turn it off, go to the next one, layer above it. I made a bunch of new layers right away. And go get the next ring of color. So I need a lighter shade of green, so I'm going to the puck and getting a lighter tone of green, and then I'm going to paint in the next on a new layer shade of color. Okay, and then I'm going to lock its pixels, turn it off, go to the layer I made for above that, get an even lighter shade of green, and I'm going to paint that little bitty highlight right there. I'm going to make a new layer above that, lock that old one down, turn it off, and there on the eyeball you can see there's like a zigzaggy thing. I'm going to go to opacity on the pen tool here, and I'm going to paint with a much brighter tone, a little zigzaggy thing. Okay, and then I'm going to lock it down, go to a new layer above that. On the new layer I'm going to draw in the pupils, so I'm going to get black. Just to kind of outline them. Alright, so now we have to do the shadow and the highlight. So above that will be the shadow layer. So we're going to just get a dark gray, I guess. And I'm going to use an opacity and bring my brush up. Alright, so that's the shadow from the upper top of the eye, like an eyelid. You always want to put that shadow in there. You can use opacity here on the layer if you click on the layer options, but I like to paint with opacity. Whatever floats your boat. Alright, so lastly, above that, let's lock it down. We'll make one more layer. Click, go to that new layer, and on that new layer, we're going to paint on that little white highlight that we see. I'm going to use the pencil tool for that because it has an opacity. You can use whatever tool floats your boat. If you click on any tool, remember you can go to the library and you can scroll through there as a zillion tools. You should at this point be experimenting with them and kind of figuring out what flavor of tool, which one kind of fits your style. I have my favorites and I kind of always gravitate towards those. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, let's turn off, oops, I made a mistake there. Let's turn off the original drawing and we'll turn on all the color that we did, and then we're going to do one last thing to kind of spice this up. Alright, so there's our eyes. I need to kind of draw in some more solid white there, I think. Oops. Alright, so let's turn off everything. I'm going to show you a good trick now. Whatever layer you are on, it will merge upwards. So let's say we want to merge. I'm going to turn off everything just so I don't end up merging it. Be careful what layer you're selecting. So see what layer I'm on right there. If I go to click on the layer and go to the layer options, it says merge. I'm going to make it kind of blink on and off right there. Merge. I'm pretty sure it merges downwards. Okay, there, those are merged. So then you click and then merges downwards. Merge. Now all that color is on one layer now, simplifying everything. I'm going to go to a uniform color. So for one, I could go to like blue or something, go to the airbrush tool over here on the side, and I can play with the opacity, and I could tint it if I wanted to. I'm going to use yellow, a bright yellow, to kind of tie it all together because it's kind of a green tone. And so I'm going to get a regular airbrush and play with the opacity, and I'm going to kind of use, remember it builds up opacity, so I'm going to use the airbrush there, the paint on the inside of the eye. I'm using this to kind of tie it all together and blend it together, sort of soften it up a little bit. Okay, see how I kind of blended it all together a little bit better? Turn on my pupils, turn on my shadow, turn on my highlights, turn on the black outline, turn on the white part of the eye, and voila, you have a really good eye technique. Now this is how you should do your whole character. Separate everything. Next video will be a time lapse.